You're listening to the HBI podcast. Health, business, and in between. Physio, chiro, and myotherapy. Please welcome your host, the chiro, Nathan Bridger.
I adjusted people on Christmas Day.
The physio, Ben Humphries.
My hair's growing back, my eyebrows are back, mate, I'm good.
And the myotherapist, Mina Garris.
We can't change body parts, but we can strengthen them.
HBI, health, business, and in between. And why are we that?
Well, who's talking first?
Mate, you just come on, sort it out. Who wants to jump in? Don't be afraid, mate. You're not afraid to get talking on social. Let's get talking here.
We are three pretty cool guys. So we found an opportunity.
Self-proclaimed cool guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's one step away from being three giant flogs, but all right, we'll go with it.
Look, we're three guys that have a lot of similarities and wanted to come together and create something cool for our clients, for our co-practitioners, and just, something moving forward for the future. Yeah. So I think this is a really good start because everything that we do is relatable to either our colleagues or our clients.
100%, man.
Good.
And that's so we should probably do, I guess, a brief intro of what we are rather than just three random dudes with some good facial hair. So, obviously for myself, I feel weird introducing myself like a third person.
Who are you and what do you do?
Nathan Bridger, chiropractor. Go ahead, guys. You're in now.
That's what you do, but who are you, Nathan? We want to know you.
Mate, the ayahuasca's not kicking in yet. I'll have to let you know in a moment.
Ayahuasca. All right. Mina, who are you?
So, my name is Mina, and I'm a myo. I've been a myo for the last 10 years or so. And, yeah, who are you?
I'm Ben Humphries, and I'm a physio.
Boom, there we go. So, what we are, let's be honest, it's a range of health practitioners, which, if anyone who's not a health practitioner will know, having a variety of health practitioners working together, it's kind of weird.
Doesn't happen.
No. Why?
Much.
Because traditionally there's a lot of beef between, especially physios and chiropractors. I don't know for what reason. And there's, I think, a few too many egos that get in the way in the past. That's basically caused a division, and it's like one profession thinks they're better than the other, and the arrogance stinks, and it's not good. Behaviours
that I guess you get taught along the way.
Yeah, 100%.
And kind of stems down to your morals, because personally, there's plenty of the pie to go around, as Benny tells me, right? Because there's no point, I can move down 15 minutes from Benny and we're still helping each other out every day.
Mate. He's got snacks over there, mate. What's happening in the back side of that screen? He's playing with stuff. Yeah, 100%. You're right. I always tell people that I'm down in Geelong. Obviously, you two boys are in Eastern Melbourne. But, I always tell people that we could have another 1,000 practitioners down here. We still wouldn't be looking after everyone. There's plenty of people to go around. And when people realize it's not a competition, it's how can you get the best results together. I think there's a huge opportunity across Australia, across the world, to just do better work for people. Because that's the game at the end of the day, isn't it? We want to be able to do good things. We want to be able to have a great business. We want to get great results. And we want to have a good time doing it.
Right.
I think one of the best things that stood out to me, and I even talk about this to my clients, how cool would it be? You've got a talent, Benny's got a talent, I've got a talent. You merge those three together, the way these clients are going to feel. I always tell my client, how would you feel if you came to my clinic, you saw my chiro for a quick adjustment, you came through to me, I did all my treatment, and you went and saw Benny all in the same session to go get your rehab done.
Mate, it's going to be amazing.
It's perfect because, we tell everyone, we can't handle people. One person can't handle the health of one other person because humans are complex, let alone the psychological and emotional problems people have.
100%.
The physical part enough. You've got joint problems, tendon problems,
muscle problems,
weaknesses, you've got chronic pain, you've got central sensitizations, you've got too many issues to handle by the one practitioner.
And go ahead, mate. Sorry, I jumped in on you.
We have to work this out. And to think you can handle on your own is a bit.
It's extreme, man. And do you think, and like we're already going to start throwing questions across here, like one of the things I think I've seen the longer I've been in this profession or longer in this industry is a lot of that comes from what people think clients or patients want from them rather than what's actually truly expected of them. That classic jack of all trades, master of one approach, because you're like, well, if that person's going over there for some dry needling and over there for some joint mobs, if I just did them all, perhaps I could get everyone. Whereas like there's a difference between being able to do something and being able to master it. And I think as a colleague of mine, Jordan Shallow, talks about like this idea of, I think he stole it from a book, so I don't know the book, so sorry whoever wrote this or came up with this idea, but that idea of like, this is my ocean. But the thing about my ocean, it may not be the biggest ocean in the world, but it's real deep. Like I can roll those levels right down no matter where you're at. But it's this big. Whereas a lot of people have this hugely expansive ocean, but it's kiddie pool level. They can sort of dap their finger in there. But like, just because you've heard of something doesn't mean you're good at it.
100%.
And I think that's where the big issues happen. Everyone's trying to hold on to something that was never theirs for the start.
Yeah, I think that's where business blurs too hard with health because the egos and the scarcity mindset that a lot of people have, I think it's because I want to make a lot of money, and if I give my client to Mina, I'm too worried that they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Or if I highly recommend another practitioner, that means that, well, if they're seeing them, that means they're not seeing me, and that means they're not paying me, and that means, I can't go on my holiday or whatever it may be.
Yeah. That classic scarcity mindset.
And even a personal reflection for myself. So working with Benny is probably the first time I've worked with any health practitioner ever.
That's unfortunate. It was Ben first.
It's pretty good. But in all honesty, though, I've had the best outcomes working alongside Ben than I have on my own.
Yeah.
Right. So there's things that I'm not going to know. Right. And it's okay for you not to know everything, but you're doing more harm to the client by not asking the questions. So even last night, 11 o'clock, client messaged me about something. I had no idea. I'm like, Benny, if I can't figure it, I'm going to send him your way. Because for me, I've got the client's health in my mind first, not our pockets. Yeah. Our pockets will fill up. There's no issue. Well, you put the client first, these egos drop.
100%. And the thing people often forget, and I talk about this when I'm mentoring students, like if you send that person to Ben and they get better, in their mind, you got them better.
That's right, bang on.
And they like keep sending people to you. Like I have clients that I have sent to a fellow physio, another chiropractor, myo. They got the result there, but they send all their other people to me because I was the one who figured that out.
Yeah. It's just win-win.
Yeah.
Win for the client, win for you, and a win for your mate who you're sending clients to.
100%. And everybody does better. The industry's better because there's not a bunch of struggling practitioners that are just trying to scrap for things. We're able to get better results for people. And when we get better results in a better industry, everybody wins.
Right.
And that's why when we get the feedback, we get really excited because we know how much effort we've put. I'm like, go see Benny. I've seen Benny. Let me know in 2 weeks. Like, once we get that message that they're feeling great, like that's a massive process. It's not just the message because, a lot of business. We're actually excited for the client.
100%, man. You're invested. You actually care. And that's what's important about this industry. If you don't care, there's no point in being here.
That's right. We're in the health industry, and us specifically, we work with pain. So pain's a shit emotion in itself, and who wants to live in pain? Like when I'm in pain, I'm grumpy, I'm angry, I'm a bit irritable, fucking arguing with people when I shouldn't be arguing, and getting angry. Like it's very selfish of people to think that and take advantage of people's pain for their own benefit. Yeah. And as you said, we get excited and passionate about helping people because, how productive are people when you get them out of pain?
Yeah, man, amazing. The things that people can do that, like, especially when someone comes to you, who's had chronic pain and like simple things like, I went to the gym yesterday. That's huge.
Massive.
That's exciting. That's life-changing. for them, that could be the thing that stops them being the over 65-year-old that falls and breaks their hip and dies within a year. Like, that is a life-changing event. And for like, I think one of the things as health practitioners we need to get around is like acknowledging even the little things as how bigger things they are. Because I think you will be the same as me, we get blindsided by the fact that, like, if someone comes and sees me, I expect whatever issue they came in with, I'm sorting out.
Yeah,
that's my expectation. Doesn't matter how long they've had it, how many people have said it's not going to get better. I'm like, well, you're coming and paying me, so I better get that better. And then you do it, and you're like, cool. But that's all you feel because you expected it. Whereas for them, it's a whole new world, man.
Yeah, it's quality of life. I always say it. It's all about quality of life. Like so many times I hear, oh, my surgeon told me I'll never be able to play ball again. Or doctor told me I should just take painkillers all my life. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Let's not. Hard pass on that one. So before we ramble on here, let's talk about, I guess, we sort of talked about what this is, but let's talk about how this came to be. So how did you two meet each other?
So Instagram. Benny, as I was starting to I left my dad's business. You know, I really wanted to do the health because it's just everything that I've always wanted to do. So then Instagram came out. I was really against it. And then I'm like, let me just see people in my industry, see what it's all about. No worries, did that. Then one of my really good friends, she saw Ben a few times. I'm like, this guy is a physio and he's actually treating, like he's actually hands-on. So I was already blown away by that. And I'm like, I need someone.
And he slid into my DMs.
I slid into his DMs.
Hands-on, hopefully, but into the DMs.
Hands-on, homeboy.
Touch me first before you touch my clients. Then I might send you some.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there. We got to know. He actually took the time to find out who are you, what do you do. Normally, it's just in and out. So I'm like, oh, this guy's actually got a personality. I thought this is awesome. And then he wouldn't even let me pay for the session. He goes, nah, I appreciate what you do as a myo. There's a lot of things I could actually learn from a myo. He goes, how about we treat each other?
Yeah.
This was the first time I ever met him.
Co-treatment.
And we started this whole thing of co-treatments. And then he helped me build like my Instagram profile. And then we're teaching each other stuff. And I was teaching what myos do, how we use our hands-on techniques and how it kind of differs, what I want to see in a physio. Yeah. And then we start seeing each other every single week. And then next year we're doing business together.
We're on the podcast now.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun because Ben's you're the connector between me and Minna as well, and our story is not that dissimilar. That we were both co-managing another client, and like a big thing for me is if there's a physio or a myo that's co-managing one of my clients, I want to get to know them. So I think I slid into your DMs as well and was just like, "Hey man, we're looking after this person. This is what I'm doing. Love to catch up with you." And then you were like, "Well, how about a co-treatment?" And I was like, "Done. I'll come send it and I'll come get some treatment. That sounds good to me." And then,
sorry.
Go, mate, go.
Yeah, that's how I think we've all met. Is literally like a big thing I try and pride myself in is like acknowledging that I don't know everything, and like the best way we can manage people, especially if there's several people, like several chefs in the kitchen handling someone, is basically all right, let's get everyone on the same team because we all want the client to get better. So I need to make friends with you, the coach. I need to make friends with fucking whoever I need to make sure that client maximizes their outcomes and gets their result the quickest. Because at the end of the day, that's what I want. I want someone looking after who's got my best interests at heart and who goes, well, Ben, I know I can get you better in 6 weeks, but if I send you to Mina and Nath, they're going to get you better in half of that time. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to do that instead.
Nice, man. And then, so that's I met Mina through you because we did some kind of 3-way co-treatment, which sounds a bit kinky right now.
Was it?
Yeah.
At Brophy.
So the first time you met me, my whole entire body. Thanks, man.
It's all good. But that was the thing. It's like, it's funny now. You're talking about Instagram and staying away from it. The amount of people that you know that you've never met. Like I was literally at a seminar like a month back, and there was like 6 dudes there that I've never actually met in person, but I knew really well. Yeah. And it was just like, well, hey, buddy, it's nice to finally actually meet you out of the ether here and actually in the flesh. But like, it's the beauty of like, I mean, I'm sure we'll have an episode on the glories of social media or multiple episodes of it. But if there's anything, like, there's probably nothing better about social media than the ability to connect and communicate with people all over the world.
Communicate. Like, we just can, like, us three would never met each other, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or might have eventually met each other, I guess, if we didn't have Instagram. But it's brilliant. Like, it's generating, like, almost all my business is generated from Instagram.
I was petrified at the start. How am I going to get business? Like, I was working a day shift in my dad's company, and then it's just like, where am I going to get my daytime clients from?
That's right.
Matt, we're inundated with requests for treatment all day, every day, because you get to meet PTs, you get to meet real estate agents, you get to meet so many different people. Instagram's great.
That's the game, man. So I think we'll have more than a few episodes going on through that. So we generally know each other's we know why we're doing this, we know sort of how it's happened. So what is the plan, I guess? If we look into the future, what's the big, I mean, obviously, we're looking well into the future here. So we can't really say, episode 37 is going to be on why Facebook's now dead and, like, Instagram's the best, or why patients not turning up without calling are the worst. But I think we should talk, what's the big buckets that we want to handle? Because obviously we're health practitioners. People know we're going to be talking about health. But what's the other stuff that we're really starting this to help people with?
For us, I think it's about education, right? And I would love, one thing I've seen, again, through socials is that people love that you can just offer them things without having to pay for it.
Yeah.
Right? So, we start talking about scoliosis. We start looking at different aspects. With scoliosis, something we all have an effect in playing in terms of fixing, right? So then we talk about things like, who do you see when, who does what, how does chiropractic services help scoliosis, how does physio help scoliosis, how does myo help scoliosis? So getting out that content education is a huge thing for me. Bridging the gap around the topics at hand. In terms of bodybuilding space and the powerlifting space.
100%.
Techniques, things like that. I think that stuff is just evolving so much right now. And for me personally, I want to be able to at least lead the way with other people in my industry and seeing what we can offer, to the whole fitness. And
nice, man.
It's good. I think, given, like, where we're at in our own journeys, like, of course we're all, chiro, myo, and the physio, like, and as clinicians, we're progressing, I think, pretty well, but I like more delving into, like, where we're at business-wise as well. So we're going to talk about, everyone throws around the word entrepreneurship, and everyone who owns a business says that exact line, but the actual, how a business and how a health business works, I guess, and how, like, especially the startup phase, and, like, delving, of course you're good at your craft, but because you're good at your craft doesn't mean you're going to be good at running your business. So looking
100%.
at hiring, managing people, running your socials, being results-based and outcome-based with clients, and all things around business.
Yeah. I think you guys have covered it off. In my mind, we're going to talk health. We're talking health in terms of deep diving between practitioners so we can understand how each person works on something, how we can educate each other on a particular topic, but also at the same level. So, your mum, your dad, your sister, your best mate could get in there and get some learning too. We want to help everyone, whether you're a practitioner or whether you're just your weekend warrior and wondering about things. We want to help. But then we want to talk business as well, because we want both people that want to use health business services understand how it works and why things are the way they are in some ways. And for people who are in new grads or about to graduate or long-term or resetting up for the first time, whatever it is, here's some things, here's some,
even young kids, man.
Yeah, man. And here's the game. Like, also, social media is still fairly new and we're all still getting grips across it and we're learning things as we go, but here's some stuff that's worked real well for us. There's other wells there. And of course, I think the number one thing we're definitely going to be talking about is just random ranting on things that annoy us.
Exactly. We want to, we want to be transparent, because we're all, we're all pretty new, not dinosaurs in the industry. Yeah. So I guess what I want to do, especially with physiotherapy, is move away from the traditional role you know, and what people think of physiotherapy, what people think of chiropractic or myotherapy, and more, I guess, talk about a new breed of practitioners that are coming through, and just ways that we can then, you know, like basically become like hybrid practitioners. And basically, as you said before, like talking about students and new grads, and if the existing practitioners is like, all right, you're good at what you do already. These are tips of advice on how you can actually become even better and even more of a hybrid practitioner, which I think is going really well.
Very well.
Yeah, and that's it, man. Like that's the end game for everything has to be along those lines. So I think this is a really exciting time and a really big opportunity, because I just don't think there's anyone really else hitting this kind of level of things.
Yeah. Well, I haven't done any research, so I don't really know if there's anyone doing that. But
what's that?
There are a few people doing it at the moment, but then again, it doesn't matter, because we're individuals and we are speaking, and we're going to invite other people that are still doing it together. That's what we do. We just combine people together. So
100%. We're just going to bring it in, and then on the other side, we're just going to ignore what Mina just said, and there is no one else doing it. We're the number one. So don't. If you are listening, don't go look for other people. No, it's just us. You can stay here. No, but in all seriousness,
we bring them on the show.
We'll bring them on the show. You tell us who to bring on, and we'll bring them on. But so, what's the plan? What can people expect? I guess we're all probably deciding this on the fly. But once we launch this episode, you can expect to see something each week. I think we can all say right now we are making that commitment.
Yes. I'm in.
See, look at that excitement.
I do.
Sold.
Yeah. And we will definitely get people, be on the lookout once we actually officially name the podcast. There'll be an Instagram, there'll be these things, there'll be co-share stuff, and we will be asking your questions. So besides us, we don't just want to be all give, we want feedback, we want to help. So it's going to be all about people getting involved.
That's right. We want to, I guess, sometimes helping is a word that people don't like. It's like we want to make sure we're, you know, producing, I guess, good practitioners, like moral people, ethical people who are not, I guess, focusing on greed and focusing on their own, I guess, interests. We want to make sure that we're producing at least the standard in, I guess, being, rather than just being a practitioner as itself, but trying to be like, I guess, a good person while doing that as well. Like, not to say people aren't good people, but it's more about, all right, how can I help or assist someone else to do better than currently what they're doing at the moment, and how can we, and all that shit just drives even more business, even attracts even more friends, and the network just builds and builds.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited for where things to go. So if I'm hearing my baby yelling out in the corner. So if we're going to wind this bad boy in, anything else you boys want to cover before we shut down episode 1?
No, I think we know why we're here. I think for us, it's just a huge commitment that we stick to it, deliver to the people like we say we're going to do, deliver for each other. We'll keep doing our research. We'll keep learning new things. We're not going to get it right every time. We might piss you off with a few things we say, but that's what makes it interesting.
And I think one of the biggest things Ben mentioned before is we will be transparent. There's definitely things that we all don't necessarily agree between each other. And I think that's good, because nobody wants everybody to be like just tugging each other off in the corner here.
Right. Yeah, we're going to not expose the truth, but at least uncover some truths, some myths about each industry. And we're going to obviously provide as much value as we can for our listeners, and as Nathan said before, provide some resources, provide, you know, sometimes I guess a voice for some people who might, I guess, not be confident to start their own thing, whatever it may be. But yeah, we're going to cover heaps of shit. And
just a health and business toolkit.
Yeah,
constant evolving one.
I like it, man. All right, team. Well, awesome first episode.
That's a wrap.
Thank you for tuning in to the HBI podcast, Health, Business and In Between. If you learned something today, please grab a screenshot, throw it up on the gram, tag us in it, and if there's any questions, please just reach out. Also, if you can leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast, that really helps us get the message out. As always, stay awesome, and we'll talk to you soon.